This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check you're still subscribed to the channel. Double check your notifications are on. And if you hit that like button, double check it's working properly, because you know these bad actors are working overtime to suppress the channel because they're terrified of more people becoming aware of the fraud and corruption in the United States stock market. Guys, listen. The SEC put out their 2026 agenda, and there is no mention of crypto whatsoever in that agenda. And some people are saying, oh, they're going to let crypto run wild. I mean, I guess that's possible, but that's not what I think that is. I believe that they have decided that the CFTC is going to be the regulatory agency that controls crypto. Now, the crypto ETFs, they're still going to fall under the purview of the SEC, but I believe crypto as a whole is going to be under the control of the CFTC, and that's why it's not mentioned anywhere in the 2026 agenda for the SEC. Could I be incorrect? Of course I could, but would they really just do nothing and let crypto run wild? Of course not. So more than likely, is because they're going to transfer all the regulatory responsibility over to the CFTC. Just my opinion. Anyway, here's the thing that really, I'm not going to say bothered me, that I didn't like about the SEC's 2026 agenda. They said they're going to be committed to protecting investors and the market just like they did in 2025. Okay? You and I both know that the SEC does not protect the market. They do not protect retail investors. It is all hypocrisy. The SEC knows exactly what's going on with AMC, with GME. They knew what happened with MMTLP, with BINI, with NWBO, with GNS, and they do absolutely nothing. There is overwhelming evidence of fraud and corruption in these plays. You see it in the dog pool. You see it in the FTDs. You see it every single day. And the SEC does absolutely nothing about it. They are not concerned with protecting the market. They're not concerned with protecting retail investors. They are more concerned with protecting the 1%ers. Okay? This SEC, in my opinion, is worse than the prior SEC because they are less protective of the market. They are less protective of retail investors, and the bad actors know this. That's why they have doubled down on the manipulation, doubled down on the malfeasance, doubled down on the shenanigans, because they know they will not be held accountable. I believe our only way to get any kind of justice is hopefully when their liquidity runs out, the banks are going to margin call them. And if they don't have the collateral, the banks are going to start forced liquidations. And at that point, they're going to have to start covering all those naked shorts. And a lot of companies are going to start rising to their true value. And some that were heavily naked shorted might rise to the moon for a little while. And some of these civil lawsuits, we need to get the evidence in front of a judge, in front of a jury, because I believe once this evidence is there, the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI cannot practice willful blindness anymore. They, at that point, will be forced to hold these bad actors accountable to what they've been doing to retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules for the last 5 years. The evidence of the corruption is there. That's why they are declaring the CAT system, because the CAT system is exposing the fraud and corruption. And they want to shut it down because the CAT system data available to the public, it puts pressure on the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI to do something about the fraud and corruption. And because their modus operandi, their real goal is not protecting us, their real goal is protecting the 1%ers from the other 1%ers, or protecting the 1%ers from us. If a small person was involved in some type of crime and it cost the 1%ers money, the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI would be on top of them right away. But when these bad actors, these 1%ers, commit crimes and they're robbing and stealing from retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules, the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI practice willful blindness. So for the SEC to claim that they're going to be protecting the market in 2026 like they did in 2025, it's all hypocrisy to me. Total hypocrisy. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to protect us. We have to protect ourselves. And I believe we protect ourselves by getting these guys inside a courtroom. By getting them inside a courtroom, because the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI are not going to do anything. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think the SEC is going to protect the markets and retail investors in 2026? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.